Whew. Just got done watching Candace. Dang. So crazy. It's amazing to me when she releases these text messages and, these videos of just the human decency, the lack of human decency from people that claim to be Christians. This is what's so trippy to me. Like in reference to them letting that girl go. It's like, it reminds me so much of my previous company and just my life in general. In the last 3 years, of just lack of human decency. It's so mind-boggling to me. By the people that claim to love you the most, by the most religious people, by the most devout Christians. And it's really? What world do you live in? It's bizarre to me. And I love that she touched on faith-ran operating businesses that claim to be a religious business or a faithful, devout, religious business, but lack human decency. It's look, if you're going to run your business or your nonprofit as a faithful, devout Christian company, then you have to carry some kind of human decency, and messing with people's livelihood is not the way. They're nowhere in the Bible is going to give you the green light to use God's word and his faith and what Jesus Christ, because Christ is king, did on the cross for you to get the green light to lack human decency and take people's livelihood away for no reason. No reason. The reason that makes no sense. Because if you're a paranoia or whatever back end things you got going on, it's just crazy to me. It's so that whole episode runs so deep on what today transpired for me at my company. It's crazy to me, but we ain't even going to unpack that because it's not worth it. I had so much great conversation with my coworker today, which really opened up a lot to me. And I'm really just in the season, in the walk of just walking through the experiences that I've been through throughout my life, and particularly the last 5 years. Man, I unpacked so much on the property tax assessor's off. Anyways, that's a whole nother. People do crazy things. But something I said to him that was super powerful. I was like, dang, that's really powerful, Amanda. Some things you've been through are only meant for your understanding. There's so many things that I have been through. Sorry, my nose itches. That I can't even make logical sense of. I can't even mentally wrap my head around it. In reference to scenarios, situations, experiences, conversations, with people, places. There's just so many things that I've been through that I can't even make sense of it, guys. And so it's I realize why I walk through it, because I realize the person that I've become walking through the madness of it based off of God's trajectory and divine path for me, right? I understand that side of the glass of things. I understand the vision that God has held for me in reference to me walking through certain situations and scenarios. But for me to put it out there for the world to understand, it's just I just don't know that there's even a possibility for that, because I can't even make sense of it other than I see the big picture in what God is doing through me and doing through the whole unfolding of the entire apparatus of everything that follows me. And so I hope this makes sense, but there's just certain things in your world and your reality and your experiences, whether that's trauma-based, childhood trauma, manipulation, gaslighting, physical, psychological, mental abuse, financial warfare. I mean, there's just so many different layers to this, right? That we all face in different ways. Toxicity in your work environments, cult-like environments, the nepotism. I mean, there's just so many different layers to it, right? And so I've come to the realization that there's just certain things that it's just not for the world to understand, because we live in a world right now, particularly where people just are not in the mind frame to understand it, nor are they open to it. You're going to go down a rabbit hole of trying to prove a point to someone that's already decided you don't have a point to prove. Before you even walked into the room, they already decided that fate for you. They already decided that fate. And so I told my coworker, I was like, I'm just to a point where if I need to be used as an example, cool, use me as an example. If you want to mock me, cool, mock me. If you want to make fun of me, do that as well. If you want to monetize me, if you want to exploit me, hey, I'm here for that too. Do whatever it is you need to do on your end. That is a you thing. That is not a me thing. And so I just realized that we are in a world right now where so much of that is prevalent, and I'm not at a position in my walk, nor will I ever, where I want to fight that. I want to fight that. I don't have time in my day to fight that, because people are going to think what they want. They're going to believe what they want, because so often enough, we have too many people that allow their beliefs and their thoughts to be controlled by ego, money, power, jealousy, envy, hate. And so when you allow those characteristics to dictate your beliefs and your thoughts, it's just going to be a dead-end conversation. And so it's very easy to pick up on these things where you just learn to where and when to exert your energy. You learn where and when to be quiet and observe and listen. And so there's another thing that came to me. Apologizing for something I did. I am always down to apologize for something I did. I would be the first one to take accountability. And sometimes I got to sit on it and resonate on it and process it, right? But I will always take accountability for something I did, but I will not take accountability for something I didn't do. And so often enough, these last few years of my life, I've had people try to make me take accountability for something I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no idea what they're talking about, right? Like, it's time for you to take responsibility. Responsibility for what? You tell me what you want me to take responsibility for, and I'll be happy to take responsibility for that if it's something I did. Okay? But if we don't have these conversations and you don't actually tell me, or it doesn't actually go through due process, like in the courts or something, or like in filing, then no, I'm not going to take responsibility for that, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay? And so often enough, we get peer pressured and manipulated and gaslighted to think this and say this and take the responsibility for this and say, I'm sorry and this and that. It's like, no, I won't be doing that. Okay? I won't. If I have no idea what you're referring to and you don't even have the ability to come tell me what exactly you're saying, but instead you're going to dance around the subject, then that's a you thing. I'm not going to play these games with these people. And that's the world we live in. Everybody wants to play games. That's cool. You want to play games with life. Keep playing them on your side. Like, I've checked out. I've grabbed my game piece. Okay. My little Jesus game piece. Okay. And I've removed it from the game board. You're now playing the game with yourselves. And so tell me how that works out for you. But yeah, if people don't have the ability to tell you what you need to take responsibility